And live again. Why do we both do that with our hands?
I know, yeah. It's like, hey, look at us.
So I just turned on a magnet in the room, like, oh!
We are right here, Dan. Yeah.
Well, Tommy, first of all, how are you? How was your trip down at the hairdressers this week?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah. Oh, you're referencing the new headwear, of course.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bit of a story behind that. Yeah,
You just enjoy being ugly?
That always, of course. But,
of course, that's the priority.
But we
are known as the ugly threesome.
Look. Long story short.
We are.
My beloved girlfriend Ellie,
who I've now met.
Of whom you've now met, of course.
Your life is over, man.
Yeah. It's gonna get bad to us.
Sorry.
Knowing that I've got two Bluey fans who have connected.
3 if you count your niece.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
4 if you count your mother. We're just screwing you over in every corner of your life.
Forcing me on the whole Bluey hate train even more. But
you'll love it.
But yeah, going back to what she faithfully got me for my birthday, she got me this hat, which it's a video on YouTube that me and her adore and have adored for so many years now.
Let's blow you up. Let's.
Well, I can't talk into it as well, so just
look at that. Look at that.
I'm a snake.
Give us a good side. Look at that. Yeah.
I made a secret promise to myself that I was going to wear it on air for the first time after my birthday. To honour that, because Ellie put a lot of thought into getting this for me, so I thought it was the least I could do.
That's better than secret promises that I make myself.
Very true.
Mostly it's related to food items that I shouldn't be buying, but I buy them anyway.
Beginning with Muck and ending in Donald, right?
Actually, no. Oh, I've had a falling out with them. Don't even go there with them. Let's not even go there.
Let's not even rip off.
Let's not even go there. They're now starting to serve me things that aren't food.
Really?
Did you not hear about this? Let's not get into... No.
Dan, we're doing what you always do, which is tangent, and we can't tangent too much.
Hey, I'd make a good on-hold system, am I right?
Oh, yeah. Especially with your accent.
Your call is very important to us.
Especially if you do
Please hold.
In a certain accent as well, but we won't go into that.
Oh, God, don't even go there today.
Dan, we are continuing with...
I've never thought about it that much.
Muscle May, aren't we?
Yeah. Yes, we are.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just thinking of... Yeah, okay, it's technically a muscle... No, sorry. I've just... Carry on. Yes, Muscle May.
So we are continuing with Muscle May, and I've decided to go for a film which only came out last year to talk about tonight.
Hercules.
No. Deadpool and Wolverine.
They've merged them up?
Yep, literally, they meet in this film.
Wowee.
Pretty much, and it's great.
2 for 1 sale.
And it's great because I know it relates very, very well to our 2 people that I know are listening at the moment. Because we've got Ellie who's listening, and me and Ellie, we watched this film together about maybe...
Listening?
2-3 weeks ago.
She's not blind, is she?
No, but she might be like...
You can watch this,
She might be multitasking, you never know.
I wouldn't give this your full attention.
Also, her best...
This is evidence one day.
Her best friend Caitlin as well is also a fan of the Deadpool films, as far as I'm aware. So I think she'll appreciate us talking about this as well tonight.
Fair. The film's, for some reason, not playing.
Oh, right, okay.
I don't know why.
Damn you and your downloads.
I know. Anyway, carry on. Ignore it.
I'm very relieved that this film wasn't made a PG-13 just because Disney had acquired the rights to the character between the second film and the third film.
Right.
They kept it R-rated, as Deadpool movies should be. None of it really made sense as a film, as it's practically just a piss-take comedy that takes the piss out of all superhero films. But it does work as a love letter to the 20th century Fox Marvel films of the early to mid 2000s.
Right.
It did work well on that front, Dan. As this will be a spoiler heavy review, I'm just going to get the cameo mentions out of the way right now. Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, Jennifer Garner as Elektra, and Tyler Mane as Sabretooth were fun to see again from my nostalgia-baited childhood. But seeing Wesley fucking Snipes return as Blade was an absolute treat. This guy is Blade, and he even says in the film, there's only one Blade, and there's only ever going to be one Blade.
Is that a bit like how Matthew Lillard is Shaggy?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, good luck trying to find another actor who can play Shaggy like him. That's
Very true.
It's very relevant to this Blade situation we've got going on here.
Very, very, very.
Channing Tatum as Gambit was also a joy because he finally got to do the part after a failed attempt some years ago. They've been trying to make a Gambit film with Channing Tatum for so many years, but it just never got off the lack of greenlit floor, you know?
Is it just the fact that they just couldn't fill it, or
There wasn't the right vision for it, and there kept being rumours about it happening, and it just never happened. So, and I think Ryan Reynolds, who plays Deadpool, he kind of knew about that, and he was like, you know what, let's get Channing Tatum in this movie. Let's get him to finally play that role that he's had a near miss with a couple of times.
Yeah.
So that was a very sweet thing.
We're gonna get you in here whether you like it or not.
Damn right. And to be fair, his portrayal of Gambit and how he talks caused me to laugh more than most other characters in the film did. Daphne Keane returning as X-23 was less needed than the others, I thought, because the film she was in was already well received, and it was still too recent to have her back in the role. She was in the film that came out in 2017, Logan, and
I've heard of that.
She was only a little girl in that. She was only like 12 years old, so now she's a fully grown adult, you know, and it was just weird because it wasn't needed because that film was already so great. She wasn't really needed in this particular film, I thought, because this, like, when you've got like Johnny Storm and Elektra and, you know, Blade, they're all in it because of films that didn't pan out too well. So to have one in that was in already an acclaimed film just kind of threw me a bit of a curveball, but I digress. This film is about the titular two characters and their 48 hours dynamic. Ryan Reynolds still calls all the shots as Wade Wilson and hits his comedic marks a good 70% of the time, but sometimes it does come across a bit self-indulgent. Hugh Jackman still brings it as Wolverine after all of these years, and his return in this film doesn't particularly harm his great outing in Logan. It was fun to see all of the variants of Wolverine, and one particular one played by Henry Cavill, which was random, but also very, very funny. I also liked Emma Corrin as the main villain, being a bad person who just enjoyed being bad. Being a fan of Huey Lewis and the News, Avril Lavigne,
Yay!
and the Goo Goo Dolls, it's safe to say I thought the soundtrack was pretty elite.
That's some.
You didn't know that, did you?
That's a good mix.
You didn't see that coming, that there was going to be an Avril Lavigne mention in this video, did you, Dan?
What track?
My favourite one.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That keeps appearing in films.
Yeah. I'm with you. It's just a banger, man. It's a banger.
It is. It's very true.
Does this film make zero sense? Yes. Does the film rely on nostalgia? Yes. Does this film have too many cameos? Yes.
So it's perfect for you then.
But I still had dumb fun with it. So to close, my friend who I watched this with...
You had regular fun with it.
Yeah. My friend who I watched this with the first time, he turned to me and said he thinks the MCU are back on track after this film, but I wouldn't go that far, as that universe is pretty much shattered at this point. Ryan Reynolds finally got his passion project trilogy finished, and both he and Jackman have come a long way since appearing in 2009's X-Men Origins Wolverine, which is an awful film. You might remember that coming out when we were in high school.
I do.
It was a terrible
I never
film.
watched it, so it didn't. The fact that whether it was good or bad, it didn't bother me.
Yeah, it really was awful, and it was really great. There's a line in this film which really did, like, you know, hit the emotional beats for me as well. Is when Deadpool says to Wolverine, like near the end during the emotional climax, he says, "I waited a long time for this team up," and he's obviously referring to the fact that it took 15 years to get them in a good movie together. So
15 years too late.
15 years too late, yeah, as Syndrome would say.
Absolutely.
Plus, the little Fox tribute during the end credits was also a sweet, heartwarming snippet. So during the end credits, they just showed like B-roll footage of not the B movie. Do you know what B-roll is? It's just like, you know, on-set footage of certain actors being filmed and bloopers and everything like that.
Okay, no, I did not know what that was. No, I know what the B movie is.
Yeah, I know, but we won't go there.
That's funny.
And it's just footage of like Hugh Jackman and all the other actors from the early 2000s movies that came out, superhero movies like the early X-Men movies, the early Fantastic Fours and Daredevils and that. It's just all footage of them just filming and having a laugh and everything, and it's put over Green Day Green Day's "Good Riddance." Have you heard that song?
Yeah, yeah.
Great song. And it's just, again, Dan, the whole film is just a complete love letter to the early 2000s, and I'm all there for it. You know, it's a fantastic film, and more so made for the fans than non-fans. But I'm gonna go in on an ease and give this film 3 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
So Deadpool and Wolverine, it's a harmless.
So we've
watch.
come down a little notch then.
We have a bit, yes, yeah. So we were bound to get one dud, weren't we, in this month? But we do have one more left, don't we?
What makes me laugh is you're in control of the duds as well.
I know,
So-
but I like to zhuzh it up a bit. It's probably for the best that we do zhuzh it up.
We've noticed. I can't wait for you to take that off. So we've got one more left in Muscle May.
Were you talking about the hat?
Yes, I'm talking about the hat.
Honestly,
Honestly.
Dan is not digging the hat. I mean, as far as I'm aware, all of our viewers and listeners and watchers right now, they're all for the hat.
What did you say it was from? Just give me a bit of a reminder. I know you've done drama. I know you can do this.
It's from a video about a guy who simply wears this hat and tries to tell us all that he's a snake. But he does it in the most effeminate, brilliant, just funny voice that it just captures you.
What does it sound like?
He goes, "I'm a snake. I'm a snake. I'm a slivery little snaky snake." It's just him saying that for I don't even know how long the video is. It might be about 5 minutes long. It's just constantly him declaring that he himself is a snake. But it's in that voice. It's hilarious. Ellie got me this present for my 30th. I had to debut it tonight on air just to share with everyone. And I bet you're glad I did.
I can't wait to see what Ellie's got next for you, honestly. She's doing a lot more to embarrass you than what producer man Steve ever could.
Very true. He's not here, is he?
No, he's not here.
Yeah, that'd be a
We
very...
don't need him.
Yeah, I don't want him...
You don't need help looking silly anymore.
That would be...
You literally come to the door
Yeah.
with it now.
Yeah, I bring to the door the stuff to make me look silly. I earn it now.
You go through an army of cameras to then come here, and then it's when you're in front of this camera you get nervous.
Dan, it's come to my attention in recent years that
Oh, no.
I might very well be a fool.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just going to own it. Own being a fool, right?
Can't argue with that. Right, well, speaking of things you can't argue with, over on Letterboxd, you have... actually, no, you can argue with that. If you said something that someone doesn't like, then they can argue with you.
You can do comments.
And exactly that. I know that. Well, anyway, I am 2 weeks away from using Letterboxd myself. So,
Buckle up, Dan. Buckle up.
Oh, it's you that needs to buckle up, mate.
Bring it on.
Oh,
Just bring it on.
You can't wait. I'll never forget how upset you were when we read my last one. So let's make it so that doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
And of course, you can get on to Letterboxd yourself using the tags or the handles. Got to talk like the kids now.
Yeah.
Below
Yes.
our big ugly faces, and that is right here in the yellow.
Yes. Larkins95, Dan Moore Radio. You guys know where to find us.
Don't eat the yellow snow, Tommy. And of course, you can also have your say here on YouTube too. You can comment on the individual videos. And of course, you can like, comment, subscribe. Is that still the terms? Notification bell? What else have YouTube added now?
Yellow.
Well,
Honestly,
you know what they've removed? The thumbs down button, and I like that.
I'm still thinking about the yellow snow, personally.
Yeah, well,
It's lemon,
yeah.
right?
Don't worry, it's lemon. Do you know what? Some of the greatest movies of all time are Pixar.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just
And
have.
I
they
hope
just have
you
the
fit in at least
moments.
one Pixar next month for me.
As I say, it's being kept so tightly under wraps now.
Okay.
Right, that's why you had security pat you in on the way in.
Okay.
So sorry for the inconvenience.
Yeah, they searched the hat and everything.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
It's all right. The security guard we got next week, he likes to search from the bottom up, and he never gets to the chest. Right. Well, anyway, you have a great rest of your week, and I will catch you. We will catch you here on YouTube next week on the YouTube Live. Thank you very much, Tommy. So you're right.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, Tommy. You're the one wearing a. You're a snake.
I'm a snake. Now you got me doing it, and I can't stop.
Honestly, snakes has been subject to conversation all afternoon for me.
Oh yeah, I imagine so. I imagine so.
You could do more than imagine. So we spoke off air.
Oh
God. Let's not bring it to
Let's
the
not
air.
go there.
Let's not go there. That's a different channel. In fact, we'd have to go onto a completely different website and live stream on there.
Yes,
But I'm not willing to put a live camera on that website with you in the room.
yeah, too.
People might expect a bit too much. Anyway,
Yes.
you have a great one, guys, and I will catch you next week. Till then.
Have a great week, everyone. Bye bye.